Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Miguel, and this is the Didn't Anyone Mention podcast. What do you got for me today?
I guess, yeah.
Long time no see, peeps.
It has been quite some time.
It's been 2 weeks, which is a while.
Has it?
It has been 2 weeks,
Oh,
but
since we last posted, it's felt like a month or two.
I know. Well, it hasn't been a month. It's been like it has been like a month because we record out. But we have something super cool. Because it was a little crazy. We actually traveled for this one. Yes. Not for this podcast, but we were like, we could totally do a podcast on this. So, and then Miguel was gone for a week, so you can blame him.
So, just to put in perspective, the last time we posted, I had been traveling since then. And I am sure glad to be back home.
Yes.
So that's why we haven't been posting. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, which it's nice because Miguel's job is really nice and we both love his job. But every once in a while, about either once or twice a year, he has to travel a little bit, which it's whatever. It's really not that bad. Like,
no, it's
not. It's really not. Yeah. It just like, especially with Centoya, our daughter. I don't even know if we've ever said her name on here, but
maybe we have.
Maybe we haven't. But she now understands when Dad comes and goes, so she was very excited. So that was cool, though. That was cool to see.
But we are back now.
We missed y'all.
Yeah, we did miss you guys.
Hopefully, you guys caught our Instagram post this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So
one thing I want to say. Okay, actually, a couple things. Mm-hmm. So first things first, we are one person away from hitting 40 subscribers on Spotify, which is, it's huge.
That's so cool.
We have a lot of listeners.
Somebody tell their friend to watch, not to watch, but to listen.
We have a lot of listeners.
But hit subscribe, y'all.
But hit subscribe. One of you guys, just one.
Just one of y'all.
Just
at least.
I like to start the day with a 4 somewhere. Okay, and then so that's on Spotify. And then we are one away. YouTube is a whole different fucking game.
Yeah.
YouTube, we are one away from hitting double digits. Not a whole lot.
But it's different. Yeah.
It's way different ball game on YouTube. But we
also got into YouTube later.
Yeah, that's true.
We 100... Because also, this one will be the one where it's been a year since we started recording.
Is it really?
Yeah, because before, it was technically before a year, but it was... National Podcast Day was the very first Monday, or very last Monday of September. So it was like the 20-something.
Oh. Well, if you want us to have a good year, you should hit subscribe on YouTube. Otherwise, you're the reason for my downfall.
Both. Do both.
Yeah, I will crash out if you don't. Anyways,
so
that's my only plug. Follow us on Instagram.
For this 1 year anniversary.
What you got for us?
We had to travel to where we needed to go, right?
Fuck,
like
don't
we said.
Remind me.
We went to, a lot of people haven't really heard of it, but it's called the City of Rocks.
Dun, dun, dun.
I actually, when I was doing a little bit more research on it, it's super common lingo, the Silent City, which now going there, I'm like, I can see it. It is so peaceful.
It is
eerily quiet. Yeah. It is like nothing. And
we had a fire outside, and I could hear a fly fart. I swear to God.
And it was so fun. We went with Miguel's side of the family, which is my family at this point. But yeah, like his parents and his siblings / plus ones, which that's including me. Centoya was the only kid, and she was spoiled. She had cookies.
Oh, man,
she had candy.
Cookies?
She had treats, and we ate like freaking kings and queens, buffet, max amount of food, 24/7.
Yeah.
I was full.
My strip looked like Humpty Dumpty by the end of it, I'm pretty sure. We had fat-ass breakfasts. Okay, I'm talking eggs, biscuits and gravy, some bacon, okay? Yes. And then 3 hours later, we had whatever we had for lunch, it was
tostadas. Your mom's chicken tostadas were actually really light and light.
Yeah, they were good.
Light and light going in. Like they felt they were super good.
After we had lunch, and 3 hours later, 4 hours later, we had a full like dinner.
Enchiladas or like
man, dude.
Miguel. So we also all took turns. Highly recommend if you ever go on like, what was it, 4 days?
5.
Thursday,
Friday, Saturday. Yeah,
4 days.
4 days.
If you go on a 4-day trip, split it up with your family. Especially there was like 13 of us that went.
Mm-hmm.
We all split it up like pretty much it was like per couple, per family member pretty much.
Yeah.
We all made a meal. Don't even worry about lunch, dude.
Don't
even worry about it. Do breakfast if you want to, but I would keep breakfast light and then dinners.
Yeah, dude.
Breakfast, I would even argue like somebody bring eggs, somebody bring the meat, somebody bring the carbs. And then you guys can just make breakfast.
You can literally have breakfast. Well, you can have eggs, sausage, and hash browns or whatever kind of carbs you want.
Just something basic, yeah.
And have that every single day. Because what we had, dude, was so
we had so much food, but it was all great food, which you're like kind of like, dang, I don't want to miss out on trying it.
I know. We will talk more about it at the end of the episode.
This one's we'll talk more about it. I will say it's more sprinkled in just because this one's like, we're just gonna make it more light, more fun.
Yeah. And last side note here, I've been told by a few angry listeners that I keep cutting Sam off on our dialogue.
Oh, you do? You just did. I
know, I just did. So, the way I have compromised with myself, with the producer, is I'm not going to cut Sam off at the end.
At the end.
But...
Are you talking about people who say we don't have enough banter at the end?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, banter. Maybe we'll sprinkle some banter in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
This one is definitely going to be more banter. So if you're not really into
it's going to be tough for me.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
If you're not into that, this may not be the episode, but we will. I mean, we have great stuff for the City of Rock.
I don't know what happened where I started cutting you off and like shutting off the banter, but we're gonna get back into it just because I guess people like it. So somehow, some way, I've been.
Feedback is good because how do we know? Yeah. Feedback is a present.
I've never been told to like keep talking. Usually, I'm just told to like shut the fuck up, man.
I bet that's why you feel like that. So, if anybody knows where the City of Rocks is, it is. Oh my gosh! I don't even know if I wrote it down.
It's South Burley, Idaho.
Yeah, it's like
2 hours north of Lagoon.
Yeah, it is.
Or Salt Lake.
Lagoon is in Ogden. It's what is it? It was Albion.
Almo.
Almo. ALMO. Almo. Yeah.
Yep.
So it was right outside of Almo. The cabin's technically in Almo. Like I think that's where.
Yes.
We stayed. I want to say it was called Sage of Chateau or something like that.
Sage Grove Chateau.
Ooh, yes. Highly recommend. They were awesome. They're on Airbnb.
Yeah, they're
so sweet. Not sponsored, #, but great place. Had plenty of sleeping room. Plenty.
Yeah,
not a ton of rooms. So if you were like, "Oh, I need my own room," but like plenty of beds. Mm-hmm. Literally they had pop-out beds, fold-out beds, loft bed. Like they had plenty of places to sleep, like not even just on a couch. So highly recommend. But they were only 5 minutes from the City of Rocks, which is beautiful.
I thought I saw it from the road.
We thought we were like, oh, we see it over there. No, once you drive in, gorgeous. So we'll definitely, I posted actually, if you saw on Friday, I posted a thing saying that we have a super special episode coming out. This is it.
It was
one of the pictures that we took, and it was so crazy. Like the rocks were enormous. They had all sorts of erosion. They had separation. It looked like some were just about to fall off. It looked like air. Well, actually, that's what happens is when the air like scoops out like sections of it. Mm-hmm. It was gorgeous. It was beautiful. And I can't believe people from the California Trail, not the Oregon Trail, because a lot of Idaho is the Oregon Trail.
It's split off from the Oregon Trail.
This is where it split off, yeah. The California Trail, I cannot believe people walked through that.
Yeah.
They went through it because there is, we'll also post it because we got to take plenty of pictures, which was really nice to not have to, like, search for our pictures. Where they took oil
from their axles.
From the axle, and pretty much marked where they were at with their name and stuff.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It is super cool.
And we'll take a picture, and I have this picture where it's like imprinted from that oil. We parked our truck. We have like an F-150, and we parked it in there, and you just see how massive it is.
I would say that's one of the smaller rocks.
And that was one of the smallest rocks we saw. So if that tells you anything, it was insane. It was so beautiful. Miguel has this fancy backpack for our daughter, and she was loving it. We were loving it. We went on like a 2-mile hike. It was awesome.
2-mile hike, yeah. 1 mile downhill, 1 mile uphill. God damn, that was heavy.
Dude, that was rough. And Miguel having an extra 40 pounds of baby on his back.
Oh my gosh, dude, I was dying, but I couldn't let my family know.
I know, but the rest of your family did awesome. Especially for people who don't, like, work out a ton and are just, like, you know, office goers. And me, I was like, dang, dude, I am proud of myself right now. We're freaking doing this thing.
Mm-hmm, it's true.
So, it was awesome. But I guess you explored a little bit more than me. Do you have any things about the rocks? We didn't climb. I will go into that. It is a huge climbing community.
Yeah, you would see.
Huge.
Like, I remember we were coming up. So a lot of it, if you don't know, is on it's like an auto tour. You pretty much go in your car the whole way. Mm-hmm. Well, at one point, I was looking at this big fucking rock, and I saw this weird shape on it. I was like, guys, is that a lizard? I seriously thought it was like a Komodo dragon or something, like a huge lizard.
Wasn't me? I was like, that's a person. And you pull out your binoculars.
Yeah, I had to pull my binoculars out, and it was some person that was free balling this rock. They were probably 70 feet in the air just trying to figure out where to put their hands.
Yeah, in this one little crack.
I said, brother, put them together and pray to God you make it up. Jesus Christ. Dude, it was like so nuts.
So climbs vary from 30 to 600 feet.
600 feet. I'd shit my pants. Like, so simply put.
30 feet in the air to 600 feet.
30 feet in the air is
illegal.
Is illegal.
And then we saw this, like, training camp. They're like, here, this is how you climb up. I'm like, climb up to your death?
Yeah, we drove right past it. If you're a rock climber,
you know what?
Fuck you.
No. I would say you're insane. You're so cool. I mean, you're cool. You have a hobby. But your hobby will kill you one day.
Your hobby will kill you.
Yeah. Sorry.
Nah, I'm sticking with my original words.
Oh my god.
You know what? You're a bit better than people that go caving. But you're right on line with them, buddy.
It is true. Caving, like, makes me, like...
Yeah, caving... If you tell me you're a caver, I'm gonna invent a slur about you.
Also, we'll have to do one on the catacombs. Dude, I saw this girl... So, a little side note. This girl who was like, I lived in Paris, and I know entrances to the catacombs. Because they're everywhere. Mm-hmm. They're throughout all of Paris. She's like, I know entrances. I will never tell you. You could literally beg me, and I will not tell you where they are. Because I knew, she's like, I think she said she dated someone. She dated somebody who was like, oh yeah, I go down there every once in a while. But she was like, but do not go down there because you get lost. There's no service down there. There's no people down there because they're like person tight. Like it's like caving where you're crawling down into the catacombs. There's people who get lost down there every single day.
Did I ever tell you about that person that ran into a meeting happening into the catacombs?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. She's like, my boyfriend said, do not ever go down there with a map or looking like you're lost, because there are people who live down there full time. They live down there. They will take your map and your light and leave you. And they'll leave you there to die because they don't want you there in their home.
Mm-hmm.
Straight up. I was like, and that seals the deal for me.
I'd go down there.
I will not be down there.
Supposedly there was, I'm a conspiracy theorist. There was an Illuminati meeting happening.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And a lady...
Wouldn't doubt it.
She escaped narrowly. She got out.
I think I remember you telling me about this, actually.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is...
It's a story for a different day.
Yeah. We'll have to do one. Maybe we'll both research it, because I feel like it's a big enough topic for us to both kind of look into and maybe find a story.
Episode. We've never done that before.
Maybe we do it.
Maybe. Anyways,
but it was kind of crazy. But yeah, so that's where I saw it. But caving, yeah. And then, yeah, these people are just climbing, and they're free climbing. If you don't know what free climbing is, that means that they have no rope. And they're just going for it.
You have to pull up the weights of your nuts, pretty much is what it is.
And then there's other people who have, the cord, and they're going up. But everywhere, it was so crazy, too. At one point in our hike, we went down so low, it dropped 10 degrees.
Oh, yeah. It was a straight up a shelf where we walked down, and it was like you walked into air conditioning. It was wild.
Yeah, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. I wish we got to spend a little bit more time, but the time that we had with family, I wouldn't give back. We went for the 4 days, right? I mean, realistically, one day was traveling there and one day was traveling back. So realistically, we had 2 days. Mm-hmm. One day we spent out there and then recovered. Then spent time with family. And then the other day, we ended up just playing board games. I had a great time. I had such a good time playing board games. Miguel had a great time talking with his parents and just getting that kind of time with him.
Shooting around.
Yeah, we went shooting, yeah.
My mom,
we got in trouble.
You guys know my mom listens at this point.
Yeah, we all know.
She's a freaking CIA informant or something.
Dude, homegirl, she's like, pow, 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 just hitting every single target right off the bat.
She told me she's never shot a gun before, okay?
Bold-faced lie.
I handed her just a full-size 9mm, nothing crazy. There's no sights on it, no nothing. And I told her, give her the typical advice, And I said, okay, aim for that can. And she pointed at it and nailed it. Her first supposed shot ever, okay? And then I was like, you want to do it again? She's like, sure. And she did it again, aimed at a different can, bam, nails it. So...
Yeah, she says she's traveling to other cities to help with, pretty much to help with Spanish-speaking...
Yeah, how to take down governments.
No, she's taking down governments.
That's what she is.
She's like, I went to Barcelona. Just kidding.
Yeah, funny enough, Barcelona's having a coup right now. That's pretty funny, isn't it?
Yeah. But anyway, so... obviously what we were talking about, we're not part of the climbers. Campers, nope. I would say we could have been, but we just didn't. It is deserty, so I promise you it will drop in temperature at night. It was a little cold in the morning.
It was 30 degrees in the morning.
Hikers, I would say we hiked for a day. And then hunters, so people hunt out there.
Probably.
Yeah, a lot of small game.
Coyote.
But birding. So, bird watching
yeah.
is super big out there.
I was watching some birdies.
They were super cool. They also, 179 different bird species.
Just there?
Have been documented in that area.
That's pretty cool.
And then 117 are counted at least 117 are counted every single day.
Dang, I think I only saw 3. I'm a pretty terrible birder.
Isn't it crazy? But yeah, they have let's see here. They have Pinyon Jay, the Virginia Wobbler.
I think that's what I saw.
Yeah, they have all these. This like bullshit.
The yellow-footed booby.
There's one called bullshit, and I'm like bullshit. Yeah, pretty much. Any kind of. They ran out of names, but yeah, they have all sorts of stuff.
Did they have a mag-toed flopper?
I don't know. I didn't look at that. Anyways, but the 70s is when the granite, because that's what a lot of the rock is, that's when all the, like, over 600 routes, routes, became climbs around that area. So the 70s is when it really picked up. And then, anywhere from 30 to 600 feet. And I should have looked it up. I even thought about it, but it said that it's relatively easy from 5.6 to extremely difficult, which is 5.14. So it sounds like the smaller the number, the harder it is, and the bigger the number, easier it is. But I don't really know how to relatively explain that. But I guess it goes from easy to extremely difficult on climbs. Is how it's rated.
All right, fair enough.
So,
I mean,
I don't know. And if you are a climber, explain, please, because I have.
So, fuck you. I'm just kidding.
It's not as bad as bikers, right?
No, bikers are far worse than cavers.
Okay, good. Didn't you? I feel like you just made a comment about bikers not that long ago.
I pretty much do every day, I think.
But either way, yes, it's a part of the California Trail. They literally went straight through it. They have, the climate's pretty rough, so it did, like, they had a rough time with that, with the hunters and gatherers, because, like...
It is super rough.
Yeah.
You couldn't grow anything out there.
Yeah. But they did what they could, obviously. But obviously Native Americans are there. There was a lot of Shoshone bands, around that area. And I even found at one point, I was trying to find the story again, but it's gone. So I'm like, did it disappear? But apparently, I think it says that it was at least 200, so this is what I can remember. It was at least 200 people were going through this area, and a whole bunch of Native Americans killed them. There's no survivors. But then I couldn't find it again, which it could have just been I couldn't remember the keywords that I typed, but that's whatever.
That could be true.
But, low-key, I don't want to say this in a bad way, but, like, good on Native Americans, man. They didn't win a lot of fights around the U.S., so R.I.P.
Ain't that the truth?
So, not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying, stick it to the man. Just kidding. But, there's a lot of local tribes around. They respect it. They have, oh my gosh, they have thousands upon thousands. Like, they have thousands of acres, like, dedicated for City of Rocks. In between, like, national forest land and then also private land, and, like, also they have it protected so well, and I am happy because it is beautiful out there.
It is.
It's gorgeous. They have granite, ness, shatus, and amphibolia. I can't even say that.
What the fuck is that like? Hold on. Amphibolite?
Amphibolite, thank you. Compost. So they're, I guess, the oldest one. The oldest of the Green Creek Complex is a brown, rich biotype mecca. I don't even know what that is. But either way, it goes all the way back to 2.5 billion years.
That's it, dude.
2.5 billion with
a
a
rock
B.
3.1
Whatever.
billion, brother.
Whatever. Sorry. I didn't realize my drink was empty. So I'm just like slurping.
I think you should do it closer to the microphone.
No, I should. I was like, But you know what's crazy? So we talked about the California Trail, right?
Yeah.
Over almost 250,000 people made their way west on the overland trails. Isn't that crazy?
Through California? Or the California
Through that trail, yeah.
Trail?
Isn't that so crazy? And then I guess there was like a Salt Lake alternate trail, which was like
That's where the Mormons took?
literally it says first documented in 1847 by Mormon battalion soldiers.
Wait, so the Mormons didn't start in Salt Lake? They came
No.
this way?
No! Did I not tell you this? I learned this. They
I
actually
thought-
started in Ohio.
No, I didn't know that. I thought some dude named
Yes.
Joseph just found the place in Salt Lake.
He was killed in Ohio, and then that pushed them over here till they were safe.
What the heck?
Yeah, because I have an insider who tells me, and I forgot to tell you about that. Yeah.
Okay, we're going to
'Cause
touch on this at the end.
Yeah. Don't quote me though, because I don't know everything about Mormon, but I remember
Just know they're listening.
I remember we had asked her, and I was like, hey, like, you don't have to answer, but, like, why Salt Lake? Why Utah? Are there so many Mormons? And she was like, funny story. And then, yeah, she was like, yeah, he was imprisoned, and then they, like, ran because they were killing all the Mormons. And then, yeah, ended up in Utah. Crazy.
Cool. All right,
Okay.
we'll touch on it later.
But they were headed to Salt Lake after the Mexican-American War of California. Mexican-American War. The other thing, let's see here, there was a Boise track, I guess, so that's kind of cool. That's where our hometown is, if anybody didn't know. But they pretty much also had like a little branch off into Boise. So it was like, oh, Salt Lake, and then, oh, Boise. Which makes sense if you drive those roads, because one way goes Salt Lake and one way goes Boise.
It's true.
So, I mean, we can go into all this history. I mean, most of the history is like pretty basic, to where if you learned about the Oregon Trail, the California Trail, or trail, like anything where fur was a big trade, you know, people died, like it was intense. People were in wagons. People buried their kids on the side of the freaking road because, like, where else are you gonna put them?
They're
or
tough enough.
they're like, their family members passed, and they just, what are you gonna do? Cart them around? Like, that sounds really bad, but at the same point, like, you can't cremate them because bones
and
don't
that's
burn.
a lot of energy.
Yeah, and burning, like, their, like, ashes, like, bones don't burn. If nobody knows, they don't burn in a regular fire. Not because I've killed someone, but because I've listened to enough Crime Junkie. / morbid. But it was kind of just like a fun place to go, and I highly recommend if you just want to get out and enjoy nature, enjoy a little bit of history. They have cool rocks. Miguel was like, oh, we could find some thunder eggs. Never saw one of those, but it's
Never
whatever.
did.
And I even looked up like rocks, but they were like, you can tumble some cool rocks, but like that's about it.
If you're lucky, you can find some quartz popping out of the ground.
Yeah, I think
My dad found
your
some.
dad found some. They're there 100%. The quartz is there. It's pretty common, but I'm gonna tumble a couple rocks and I'll let you guys know. I'm hoping that I grabbed a couple, and pyrite is everywhere, but what am I looking for? What's the word? Obsidian, which is lava rock.
Oh, we think we got one of those, huh?
Yeah, I think I might have gotten one of those because I used to have family that lived in Burley, and I would find obsidian around there all the time, which was really cool. So I'm hoping the one that I found is that, but I should just bust it open, but I just haven't. So, but nothing. I know I would like to say that I had a lot more history, but it wasn't super crazy on history.
That's fine.
It was pretty, like, yeah, it was pretty common. Like, you could find, don't get me wrong, you can find stuff out there, but at this point, it's so, not ran over, but, like, so heavily traveled through that if you really wanted to find anything, you have to really dig for it.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
literally dig for it, probably.
Literally, yeah. Which was so cool because some of the rocks that you go to, you could touch your hand on it and it would literally just like disintegrate.
Mm-hmm.
So you would just like rub your hand on it and it would just all the sand would come off, and
then
if that happens, stuff is buried.
Yeah, and then you just know that those rock climbers are insane.
I know. They are crazy.
They're holding on to hopes and dreams, not rocks.
I don't know what they're holding on to, dude.
What else you got?
I don't have much else for you. I mean, like I said, it was just a little brief, but if anything, it was just going to be more of a fun little banter one that we bring in for our celebration.
I liked it. It was cool.
Okay. Don't cut me off.
I'm not going to cut you off. But, so these Mormons that got pushed out of Ohio.
That's all I can remember. I think something happened to where the Joseph guy was like being put on trial and he got imprisoned and then they killed him and all the Mormons panicked and then ran.
To Salt Lake City?
I guess.
To Provo, the promised land?
I don't know. That's just what I was told. I'll have to ask more later.
I have not heard that at
Yeah,
all.
that's what I was told. But I was gonna say, she's like kind of like, she goes to church because she lives with her parents, but she's like, afterwards, I more likely won't go. I was like, oh, I get that. Like, she's like, out of respect, like my parents. Right. So, yeah, I was like, I get it, dude. I get it. So, yeah, that's all I've learned. We've, like, kind of, because we've asked her about other random things, and we're like, because obviously, you know, we have tattoos, or we drink, and we're like, are you okay if we talk about this? She's like, yes, it's totally fine.
You know, some people on the East Coast that don't even know about Mormons.
Yes, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And then, like, I feel like I turn a corner, and there they are.
Seriously.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's just a different religion. Like, it's just crazy how, like, religions are kind of, like, more based off of, like, region.
Yeah.
Because, like, if somebody was like, oh, yeah, I'm, like, Buddhist, I'd be like, what? Where?
That is true.
Yeah. So it's just, like, it just depends on the area. It's just kind of weird.
But Mormons are global. They go all over.
I know, they travel a lot. They've been to crazy places. Where they have crazy missions. And see crazy things.
That is true.
Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, that's it. That's all I got.
Oh,
Sorry,
I didn't cut you off. Fucking did a good job. All right.
Well, thank you guys.
No, we're done. We're out of here.
Okay, thank you for this year-long journey. It's been so great, and it's a great time. So thanks for listening to us when you do.
Yeah. We'll see you guys on the next one.